Since the Season 5 update on Wednesday, I've been seeing so many people calling for the MRAP to be nerfed or saying that it's OP and making videos saying how it's going to destroy the game. And this really annoys me because I think it's the best thing they've added to DMZ for absolutely ages. It's a huge amount of fun to use. It adds some tension, drama and excitement to the game when it's being used against you. I just think DMZ needs more things like this. So after seeing a bunch of comments of people saying every game on Al Mazrah now there's just 6-man squads getting the MRAPs and absolutely terrorizing everybody else and they're completely unstoppable, I thought today, in my stream this morning, I'd hop on, I'd show people how to take out the MRAPs as easily as possible. Maybe I'd just like go in with a javelin, some C4, stuff like that, and I couldn't find any. Not that I couldn't find the MRAPs, there's about 2 or 3 MRAPs spawning in every single match, but I couldn't find anyone actually using them. I think in all of the games I played across 3 hours this morning, I saw one team get into an MRAP, and to be honest, they killed me while they were trying to get into the MRAP, because I stupidly set off C4 in my own face. But people aren't really using them. Now, I did put in the title of this video how to destroy an MRAP, so I'll show you because it's unbelievably easy. You can use one Joker rocket. You fire a Joker rocket at it, it will destroy the MRAP by itself. You don't even need to wait for teams to get into it. If you're really bothered by the MRAPs, you could just go onto the map and then immediately destroy them. You can see them on the minimap right at the beginning of the game. Like I said, there's usually 2 or 3 per game. And they're super easy to destroy. One rocket, you can shoot them from absolutely miles away, will absolutely destroy them. Or you can use C4. If you put a piece of C4 in there, or 2 pieces of C4, that will completely destroy them. What I was trying to do for this video was a little bit sneaky, and looking back, maybe a little bit toxic. I was trying to put C4 in the MRAP, then go find somewhere to hide to watch to see if someone else got in it, and then when a team got into it and they used their key, then I was going to blow it up and kill them all, because the C4 destroys it really, really easily. Unfortunately, what tended to happen is no players ever went for the MRAP, and then the AI will shoot C4, and by the way, I really don't like that. I really wish the AI wouldn't shoot stuff like C4. But anyway, the AI would shoot the C4, destroying it, and then destroying the MRAP. It's bizarre that with so many people complaining that these things are an absolute terror in the games, that I couldn't find a team willing to use them, and I couldn't keep the damn things alive when I was just hiding out near them. So if you are worried about MRAPs, you can use a rocket launcher. I think any rocket launcher will do because they literally have no protection against them. The only protection they have is a smoke screen. So if you've got a javelin or something like that, it will still work absolutely fine. You can use C4. You can use bullets. They're kind of resistant to bullets in the same way the armored LTV is, but they are really, really big targets as well. The problem is that in the time it takes you to shoot all those bullets, they're probably going to be able to kill you. You can also use a DDoS that will completely deactivate it and stop it, but it won't stop the gun from firing, so again, same problem with the bullets. They're probably going to kill you before you can do much about it. You also have landmines. There's landmines all over the map, and they will make fairly short work of it, so if you know it's chasing behind you, you can put a couple of landmines behind you and then keep on going. You can also just try to get away from them, because to be honest, they're not that fast. They're like cargo trucks, so they're one of the slowest vehicles in the game. If you've got any other vehicle, you can get away. If you can get under the water, they can't see you, so it's pretty easy to get away that way, especially if you have that new scuba mask. That thing is absolutely insane and lets you just swim underwater for like 3 minutes without having to come up for air. And while you are getting away, just keep an eye out for things like rocket launchers, like mines, that might help you to even the odds a little bit. Now, I'm not saying it's super easy if you're being attacked by MRAPs. Like, if you're being attacked by 1 or even 2 teams with them at the same time, you're in a really horrible situation. But I don't think you should see that as necessarily a bad thing. I've been a bit bothered by DMZ over the last kind of season or so, really all of Season 4, that it was just getting a bit bland. It was a bit boring, a bit predictable. You'd go in, the AI weren't really a threat once you knew what you were doing. You know, once you've got an assault rifle or an SMG or a shotgun with a suppressor, you could just run around, getting on with your missions. The only thing you had to worry about were other players. And generally, because they made assimilation so much easier, even if the other players killed you, often they would just get you back up and you could carry on doing your mission. So it felt like DMZ was getting a little bit easy. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd still die occasionally. Sometimes there'd be a 6-man squad come up and absolutely destroy me, absolutely steamroll me, and they couldn't get me up, or they'd just take all of my stuff. And that was kind of frustrating, but that was the only real drama in the game. That was the only tension, was, you know, if you heard that thing saying there was a platoon nearby, at least that gave you some kind of fear. but most of the time it just felt very straightforward, especially with how easy it is to regain now. Like the times I was taken out, I would just often be able to regain immediately in the next game. Even though I was solo, I could just find a stronghold keycard off one of the enemies, go into the first stronghold, immediately find a free plate, a self-revive, a large backpack, everything I needed, or I could just bring in money from my wallet and then just buy all of the things I needed immediately. It never really felt like dying was that much of a punishment. You were never really losing that much, which I think is kind of a problem in an extraction shooter. So while I think the MRAPs are actually an amazing thing because they add a little bit of danger, they add a bit of tension, they're very expensive, like $200,000 is a lot of money, and it's not like players are getting it in every single game, as I found out this morning when I couldn't find a team who were willing to use one. But when they do get them, they are something scary. Like it's something to avoid on a map, something to keep an eye on, something where if it rolls up into the area where you're doing a mission, you need to change what you're doing. You need to change how you're playing. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Also, if you do find that there's a platoon on the map or there's a 6-man squad going around, you, if you have the money, can get one of these things, and it only takes 2 of you, really one person driving and one person using a grenade launcher, to easily be able to take out a platoon who's attacking you. Unless they've watched this video, of course, and they know how fragile the MRAPs are and how easy they are to destroy, in which case, you know, they might take those out too. So really what I'm saying in conclusion for this video is maybe they should buff the MRAPs. Maybe they need to make them stronger, give them like a trophy system or some flares or something. I mean, that might be a kind of unpopular opinion. Overall, I genuinely do think they need to do something to DMZ to make it more difficult. And again, I know I'm speaking from the position where I play this 3 or 4 hours a day. I'm not particularly good at the game, but I do play it more than most people. So when I'm finding it a bit boring and easy, there's probably some people who play for like an hour a week who find it super frustrating when they get killed. But that's why I think they could probably do things that would make it harder for people that play all the time, but not really punish people who don't play that much. So maybe do things like have big timers for things. Maybe make it so you can't find free plates in the game world, you have to craft them, and maybe make it so you sort of craft them at your base or something like that. And then you have a long time on them, so you get a free plate every 2 days, something like that. Then people who only play occasionally will always have one whenever they go on next, and anyone who wants one more often is going to have to try and take one from other players. Like, it's going to be something challenging. At the moment, it's just way too easy to get. And I think the other thing they need to do is put a lot more money sinks in. So things like the MRAP, things that cost an insane amount of money that you can kind of save up towards, maybe group up with your friends and say, okay, this game we're going to buy one, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to go cause some chaos. I think stuff like that's absolutely awesome. So let me know what you think. Do you think the MRAP needs to be nerfed? Do you think the MRAP needs to be buffed like I'm starting to think it maybe does? Or how else do you think they could add in that tension to DMZ without putting off the players who maybe don't play as much as we do? I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts, so please leave them in the comments below and I'll reply to as many people as I can. If you enjoyed this video, a little bit of a different one, a little bit of just me talking about things, then don't forget to like and subscribe, it helps out a bunch, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye!